in Atlanta, Georgia for IET. For those of you who may not be like 100% familiar what IET is, that is the International Euphonium Tuba Institute. And it's pretty much like a tuba euphonium band camp put on by Adam Fry since 2004, I believe. But unlike a lot of band camps, Adam brings in a bunch of these international stars and orchestra players and soloists, and it's essentially like going to basketball camp with a bunch of Michael Jordans. So it's a really interesting and unique experience that I don't know if it's been replicated anywhere else to the level that it is here at IET. I was fortunate enough that a group that I founded, the Gasparilla Tuba Euphonium Ensemble, which is part of the Tampa Brass Band, was invited to come and play at this, and so I'm doing a warm-up, I'm conducting that group, and I'm on the opening recital tonight, actually. So I thought it'd be fun to bring you all with me for a couple days while I'm here, and kind of show you what IET's all about, and maybe it's an experience you'd be interested in. All right, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go get food. Interesting to me, I think, about IET is that Emory's not a huge school. There's not a ton of music students at Emory. It's not as large as, like, let's say, the University of Georgia here in the state. But this is a giant event that he puts on. And, the website says it started in 2015 with like less than 20 students, and it's blown up into this big thing. I remember when I was in undergrad and grad school, it was always something that we all kind of aspired to go to. For me, I wasn't able to make it, mostly due to financial constraints. But I have a feeling this week's gonna make me regret that. But who is IET for is kind of the first big question I think anybody would ask when they're interested in this sort of a thing. And it's essentially half high school, half college, and then a few just like adult learners who just kind of want to be involved in meet and see these people play. And it makes 100% sense to me that adults would want to do this. I mean, not just Adam and I are here. Warren Deck is here. Aaron Tyndall's going to be here. Dave Childs is going to be here. Brian Bowman, Gail Roberts, and Oystein Bodzvik. Like, it's just a who's who, and it's a one-stop shop. You get a week of all these people, and plus master classes and playing and ensembles and all that sort of a thing. I would say in terms of intensity of players, it's a little less academic than like an ITEA conference, but I think you get more hands-on involvement with the artists here. At least that's my impression. To be honest with you, again, I haven't come here, right? So today is day 0, and it's early in the morning. So today's like registration day. No students or campers or whatever you want to call them, none of them are here yet. They'll be coming in later this afternoon, and I play this evening. So I thought it'd be good to come out here and shoot some B-roll before everybody showed up, because I'm not sure I'm gonna have a chance to really sit down and be by myself very much soon. Brings it back around though, who is IET for? And like I said, with this mixture of about half high school, half college age students, and some adult, it's kind of like, am I going to be able to fit in? Is it all Georgia people? What is going on there? And from my impressions, I mean, no. You have this like wide variety of age groups, and then you go, well, are they all from like the state of Georgia, or how does that work out? But Adam tells me most of them travel in. Now, of course, there are probably more southeast located people because of just area, but it's my impression that a ton of people from all over the place come, and if you are just a connoisseur or enthusiast of tuba or euphonium, this is kind of a place for you. So I think about it with teacher brain, right? Like, what students am I going to send to a camp like this, especially with how much it costs, which I'll get into that later on in the video. And I'll be honest with you, this year I'm sending like a whole crew, right? I've got 8 people of varying age groups from my organization all doing this. Last year I sent one high school student and he was kind of a tester, and it was all he could talk about for the 6 weeks afterwards. So I was like, okay, if somebody from out of state and who is generally on the younger side, he was a rising junior at the time for high school, if somebody from a completely different state and of a different age bracket had a good time, I feel comfortable sending just about anybody here. Let's see if we'll let me get closer. Hi, buddy. What's going on? No, don't run. I just want to be your friend. All right, well, I don't want to spook you. Pretty get there. So thinking about who I would send to this event as a teacher, starting with college students, if you're a college student and you're like, should I go to this? Well, if you're already going to a big festival or something like that and that's something you want to do, those are great as well. They just tend to lean towards orchestra players, and so my euphonium players are entirely out. And then also, because I'm in the state of Florida, I'm already in the Southeast, it's really easy for me to get up to Atlanta as opposed to something like, you know, in the Midwest or, you know, in Colorado or, you know, something really far out. It's a little bit more accessible for those students. And then for the high school students, I think, well, what are they doing at just the normal university band camp, which is essentially just more, and in some cases an even lower version of whatever it was they're doing in their high school band anyway. So after getting them ready for all-state band, doing marching band, doing high school band, doing all-county band, I'm gonna send them to another band camp where they're just gonna sit there and watch notes get beat into clarinets all day. Whereas here, they get to take a lesson with somebody like Gail Robertson and play in a bunch of tuba euphonium ensembles and attend all these master classes and do these warm-ups and do things that are really specific and geared to them. So even just at a $1 per note amount, this seems to be like the better value for most of my students. But maybe my adventure this week will kind of alter how I feel about it. Again, this is day 0, so I actually haven't technically spent one whole day at this event yet. So maybe we'll figure it out as we go along. Maybe my perspective will change a little bit. I pretty much woke up and started filming B-roll and hanging out here. So I am sweaty because it is warm. I am hungry. I need a warm-up, and I need all those sorts of things before I interact with any real humans today. So I'm gonna go back to the dorm room, and I'm gonna show you what the dorm situation looks like, because students or campers or whatever, they stay in the same type of dorm room that I'm in right now. So you can get a vibe for your accommodations, as it were. Gonna shower up, warm up, and get ready for the day. Let's go. Voila. Now it's very much going to be dark. Come on. So you're gonna get some sun in here? No. So it's gonna be very dark. But it's just, as you can imagine, it's just an abandoned dorm for the summer. You've got 2 units on each side, or 1 unit on this side actually, I think. Yep, and then a bathroom. And then I'm actually on the other side. You do have a microwave, you do have a kitchenette. There's another unit right there. And then we've got the very standard bathroom. And then, skittish. You've got the bedroom, desk, place to put your stuff, place to hang up your dress clothes because you do performances, so you do want to look somewhat presentable. But yeah, pretty much stock, normal dorm room stuff. So not only does having a dorm room make it a little bit more communal, but also it brings costs down, and it also brings effort down on your part, because everything's done through the website for the camp. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the bunk bed situation is wildly uncomfortable for me. I never dormed in college, so I've never had like a huge lofted bed like this, and getting up and down that for my fat self, not for me. We'll make it work. It'll be fine for the few days that I'm here. But it is a little bit painful for me. But I'm going to get ready for my day, and we'll catch you guys pretty soon. So if you watched my FMEA vlog, which was a while ago now, it was pre-pandemic, one, I went and got coffee in that vlog, but I also mentioned that if you go to a conference like this, it's really easy to like sit in like the pocket of like where the conference is and do things that are like either really close to the conference or even a conference associated. But try your best to go out and venture out if you possibly can, to just try to get something local. So I looked up a couple coffee shops. So we're going to try to find one that I've never heard of. So I assume it's Atlanta local. And yeah, I've got to study some, I've got to do some Japanese study and then do a little bit of side work. So we're going to go and hang out there before the chaos of the day starts. So might be able to film some B-roll in the coffee shop, but honestly, you might not see a lot more of me today because I'm gonna focus in on tonight's performance. So the next time we talk, maybe a little bit a while from now. We'll find out, but definitely gonna go get coffee. So we're gonna go do that next.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a week. So the last time I saw you or filmed anything, it was Sunday. It is now Thursday. And the reason I haven't filmed anything is there's genuinely just hasn't been time. Performed a recital on Sunday, had the ensemble play on Saturday, and then lessons and judging and talking to people and just the fraternity of it all. Absolutely stolen all of my time. And so I'm actually leaving in an hour. Like I'm rolling away in an hour. So the video has changed from being a vlog to being a here's kind of what IET is. So for me as an artist, it has been great. The lessons have been phenomenal. There's like options of like 30, 45 minutes and maybe an hour-long lessons. I don't think I taught any hour-long lessons though. But all of the students were super prepared. Everybody was really chill. Everybody was, helpful. The students have been able to go to a ton of master classes, but you can also like kind of opt out if you need some downtime just for your own brain or your own personal space. There have been Tuba Euphonium ensembles rehearsing off and on the entire time. The meals have been great. The food's been good. And so your schedule is packed, but I think Adam has done a really good job of not overstretching anyone, even not just artists, but even the participants. And so now that I'm on the other side, I'm pretty much done with my IET experience here. What do I think? So what I think is, especially if you're in the Southeast, but if you have the money to get here otherwise, I think of everything I've ever done, either as a student or as an artist, that pertains to like training or academic presentations or anything like that. This is by far the most value I think you can ever get from anything like this. I think as a teacher, I would suggest doing this over any band camp, and I for sure would suggest doing this over any conference. And even me, I haven't been to an ITech since it was an IU I don't even know when I was in grad school, so 2014 maybe. I haven't been to an ITech since then, but I've been to all the regionals, and those are recitals, maybe master classes, maybe talking. You can maybe set up lessons on the side with somebody. But in terms of like getting to talk to artists, hands-on, working with them, playing, recitals, like all that, like it's all of it. But you as the participant are way more the focus as opposed to the artist being the focus. And so when you're spending your money to get like educational stuff, I think that's what makes this so high value is it's you focused, not like us focused. We're trying our best to help you, not here's something I need to put academically on my resume or as a performer, something I need to do to get more people to listen to me. It's not really like that. It's like you literally in this room, I've had, however many students come in and how can I help you? What advice do you need from me? And the artists are just such high caliber. I mean, I literally drove Oystein Badsvik here today. But you have Oystein Badsvik, you have Chris Olka, you have Warren Deck, you have Kimiko Yamada, you have Helen Harrelson, you have Glenn Van Louie, David Childs, Mauro Martin, Gail Robertson, and of course the guy who puts this whole thing together, Adam Fry. And I'm missing people. There's just so many, and they're all teaching lessons. They're all working with ensembles. They're all performing. Like they're all doing all of the things, and it's all for your benefit as the participant. If you're in high school, grad school, in the extremities of that, or just an enthusiast, there are a handful of adults here who like even participated in competitions. If you can get here, I would do it. It's one of those things that when you're looking at the numbers of money and all that sort of thing, and many of my students have said this, when you're looking at the numbers and you're trying to figure out what's worth it or how many lesson packages or what food options, and you're looking at and the bill starts adding up, it becomes terrifying. And then you get here and you start doing things and you're like, I am not spending. Of course, we all want to save money, but if it's like I'm not spending enough money. So many people want to add lessons and work more and do more things, and I haven't even been here when the exhibitor booths are here, so I'm sure that'll change things. But yeah, it has been an experience like no other, and for me personally, getting to meet a lot of the friends that I've had online for years and years and years and years, and finally get to hear them play in person and have them hear me play and us chat and be nerds about like what mouthpiece are you playing and what are you doing or what pieces do you like, but also just like eating food and together and talking about family and all that sort of a thing with people who albums are sitting on your shelf. I mean, it's like no other. So what I was able to do is get some testimony from some students and some faculty members and all that and everything in between, and chat with them about what they like about it. So hopefully that's helpful. Andrew, how many years have you been doing IET?
This is year 7 or 8 for me.
And so you've done it kind of as artist, staff, student, like you've done almost everything, almost every way you can go about doing this. What do you think the value is in IET for anybody interested in Tuba Euphonium?
I think for me, one of the biggest things is just the number of people that you meet and the opportunities you have to socialize with people who share similar interests. I think a good number of my close friends that I've made in this field, like Tuba Euphonium, I met here at IET, and we met first year I was here, and we've been friends ever since. So I think I really value that part of this.
What's your favorite part of IET?
Oh, that's a good question.
The hang.
The hang, yeah. It's fun to play in all these things, but yeah, kind of again, like I think the biggest thing for me is that I see people here that I only get to see once or twice a year, and it's such a laid back environment. It's really easy to just sit down and talk to people and make connections in that way. I think that's what I really value about it.
Awesome, thank you. Hey Joseph.
Yeah.
Have you been enjoying IET?
I've been enjoying IET.
What's your favorite part about IET so far?
Meeting all the artists.
And then what's your name?
James Barr.
And what's been your favorite thing about IET so far?
Easily doing the lessons and master classes with all the great artists here.
Awesome, man. Thank you. Hey Jason, how's it going?
Hey, it's going all right, Aaron. Thanks.
So you've done this in like every way you can, essentially.
Yeah, student, artist, and background kind of, back of the scenes kind of guy. Yeah.
How many years?
This is 15, I believe. Yeah.
So, I'm kind of, what's the value of this for everybody? What's been your favorite thing?
My favorite thing is just the inspiration that I remember getting as a student, seeing like all these great musicians, both as students as well and as artists. It was really cool just to see all the great music being made, and it really helped push me forward in my career as a musician.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey Nico,
Yeah.
what's been your favorite part of IET?
My favorite part was definitely hearing all the spectacular performers.
The
Definitely.
recitals and stuff?
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome, thank you. Hi Hannah.
Hi.
What's your favorite part of IET so far?
Honestly, it's been so wonderful talking to different people and hearing their perspective. I mean, I've never had the privilege to meet so many well-established and wonderful performers at the same time.
Go back to rehearsal.
Cool.
But yeah, that's it. As far as I know, I hope this video makes sense. It did not go the way I was expecting it to go. I thought I was gonna film progressively throughout the week, and there's so much here that I couldn't, which I think speaks to the whole event. But yeah, guys, be happy, never satisfied, and I'll see you in the next one.